Good morning to everybody, and Session Chair, Honorable Anil Razdan sir, who was the Power Secretary, and then my co-panelists on the stage, and my Guru, Dr. A.K. Balyan, who is there in the audience, and it's a privilege to speak in front of him. We were boys, learning up the ladder in ONGC, and under his guidance, and my young colleagues. And it's a pleasure to basically to have a hand holding from the people, elders like you, like the Balyan sir, Razdan sir, who are learned industry experts in the energy field. And for past 2 years, we have not been meeting physically, and it's a great opportunity. We could realize the importance of physically meeting and interacting with each other. And that is where, the digital transformations important has come to the forefront to basically, how to take the move forward. And everybody has felt the importance of digital transformation, and we were all getting connected through a digital mode. And the company like Zoom, whose share prices went on, maybe the combined capital of all the airline industry. That shows the power of digital transformation and digital equipment in getting connected. I just speak on digital transformation in petroleum industry. Being from a upstream industry, my main focus will be on the basically upstream sector, how the digital transformation can help the upstream industry. And I have been, Additional Director General Exploration until 15 days back. I'm back to my parent organization, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. In fact, the digital transformation and the computer industry started developing from the oil industry. If really speaking, the initial days of the oil industry saw the basically computer applications taking place. It is not the IT industry which has started the computer revolution. Really speaking, it is the petroleum industry which has started the computer revolution and digital revolution. And of course, the strides and leaps and bounds, things went on when you come to the other IT industry. Next, please. Before coming back to the importance of the digital transformation, I would like to speak, set the context with regarding to energy transition, because nowadays the energy transition is a hot topic. And I must say, though it's the only energy transition. For past 100 years, the coal as an energy source has been transiting only. We are not going to replace any form of energy. Only thing is the energy basket, the ratio and basically the components of the energy baskets will vary in percentage terms. Obviously, the utilization of the clean fuels will increase more in terms of the percentage. I won't say in terms of the quantum, because the world's economy is growing, world's energy requirement is growing. Economy is always intertwined with the economic growth of the countries or economic growth of the world. In order to grow in a sustainable, only thing is we need to grow in a sustainable manner. If you have to grow in a sustainable manner, we need clean fuels. We cannot spoil the environment and then go ahead and do the things. Only thing is, even the whatever energy sources which we thought is dirty can be produced in a sustainable manner and can be utilized in a sustainable manner. What you think dirty today, probably, it will be very clean over the time. We, initially when the petroleum industry started, we were flaring the basically gas. But then ONGC took up a zero gas flaring project, and then we have reduced it now. We hardly see anywhere, burning the gas. Even during the testing time also, we are using the compressors, and in a controlled manner, we are utilizing the gas which is produced even during the testing also. See, if you see energy transition in a snapshot, world over, basically, while the world's consumption may reduce, but India's oil consumption will grow till 2030 or maybe further. It's a quite optimistic figure if I said 2030. But otherwise, India's energy, it has an insatiable appetite with regarding to growth, this thing, and basically, ambitious youth force is there who would like to be entrepreneurs, who would like to be, having a more comfortable life and sustainable future. We will be consuming basically a cleaner fuels, and our energy growth will go on until we achieve the dream of Prime Minister to achieve a $5 trillion economy. Renewables grow fastest for the world and also as well for India. But oil and gas demand will continue to grow in India in all scenarios. You take any form of scenario, oil and gas demand will be there for the country, and it is very essential for the India's growing import dependence. If you look at the figures, like 85% of the oil we are importing, and more than near about 46% of gas we are importing. If you see exactly, if you really analyze the histograms which I have put in there, world over, the percentage of basically oil, natural gas and coal, it might be down when you compare with the 2018 to 2030. But if you see the nuclear, hydro and renewables, in percentage terms it has increased. And the similar is the case. The scenario for India has been depicted below. You see, if you see in the energy basket mix, the percentage may be down, but the quantity is more. That is the significant. For example, if you take the oil, 238 million tons we will be going to 288 million tons of oil equivalent. But in percentage terms, it is 23% only. We will be in the energy basket mix. Similar is the natural gas. We are targeting from present 6% to basically, 13%. In fact, it's a 15% is the target. Even though it is depicted by 2030, it is 13%. But the quantity, if you see, it tremendously increased, and the coal is also, we keep on telling coal we may not require and all, but in the Indian scenario, if you see the percentage terms, it might be less, that 41% of energy basket mix only we will be utilizing the coal, but in real terms, 452 to 520 million tons, it's going on. And when it comes to the renewables like nuclear, hydro and renewables, most significant aspects, if you see the renewables, even though it forms the 18% of the mix, in terms of the 27, presently it is 27 million tons of oil equivalent in energy terms, if you put it, and that is going up to 222. That shows, that gives a significance increase when it comes to the renewables. Next, please. And what are the challenges which E&P industry is facing? If you see here, E&P industry faces multitude of challenges such as geological complexity and increasing capital and operating costs and changing consumer preferences. What are those challenges? Oil price volatility. I have seen best of the pundits, they are not able to predict what could be the oil price. Nobody has imagined during the COVID time, they said the price is not going to come back anytime soon. But within no time, there is a two black swan events which I said, it's happened. One is the COVID-19, that is a black swan event, and then another black swan event to balance that one. It has happened, Ukraine invasion by the Russia, or the Russia entering into Ukraine. And what is basically plaguing the upstream industries is maturing fields. To maintain or sustain the production from mature fields, you need higher investments and operational costs. The finances is the big thing, and with the energy transition speak and the climate goals and all those things, the new investment into oil industry coming, it has become a Herculean task for all the industries to put in the finances and bring in the subsurface oil to the surface. Similarly, we need to bother about the carbon and environmental footprint, increasing competition from the alternate cleaner fuels. I won't call it as a competition, it is basically complementing the oil and gas industry. And the most important one, I keep on telling, when we held the road shows, we said earlier what used to happen, the government, industry and the financial institutions, they used to act as the three pillars and then go for the investment promotion. I said no, there is a fourth pillar which is required, that is the academia. Academia is one of the most important one, which cater to the basically workforce limitations, and which will be, the future of the oil industry will be really in peril because the lack of skilled manpower, because hardly we are seeing very few people, only the people with the passion are coming to oil industry. Otherwise, most of them are going to the new age, knowledge-based industries like IT sector, and then everybody would like to go and work on a IT sector. That's the thing, because of the working conditions or probably the wider opportunities available global. The people are becoming the global citizens. And another aspect is execution and technological challenges, complex and tough environments in which oil occurs, and the places and the difficult place which are there to apply the execution and technological challenges to produce from these difficult places. And another aspect which is what's happening is the high reliance and specialized service providers. There are only limited service providers like a few of the prominent one, Schlumberger or Baker Hughes or Halliburton. We need to depend on only limited people. Next, please. So what it takes to succeed, undertake extensive data acquisition and adopt advanced processing and interpretation techniques. When I said processing and interpretation techniques, is not only the well-logged data, basically the seismic data which is need to be processed and interpreted. And deploy latest E&P technologies and embrace organizational-wide digitalization. Here comes the aspect of the digitalization, which we need to fruitfully utilize to bring in the maximum benefit from the processes which we are adopting to the industry. And enhance collaboration and cooperation between various stakeholders in government, industry, academia, investors, and service providers. As I said, these 4 pillars are required for any oil and gas industry to be in a stable one and give the benefits to the citizens. And implement robust risk management, risk assessment, and mitigation frameworks and models. And basically, what we need to do is develop the capabilities and strengths across the organizational level so that you derive the benefit, whatever is the manpower, whatever is the technology which is available, we need to basically maximize by assimilating those things and to bring in the better, benefits to the country. Ultimately what we need to do, we need to work towards the goal of basically bringing the better, living conditions to the people. People should not feel I am the poor. Once the basic needs are met, everybody feels rich. And the richness comes from the happiness. Happiness comes when you and your basic needs are met. And basically, what we need to do is, we need to build an ecosystem for investments through right policy, fiscal and regulatory support by the government. The overseas investors keep on asking, please give us the policies reforms which are stable, which need basically, a sort of fiscal stability during the contract period so that, every other day the fiscal regime should not be changed. Of late, it has been happening. It has been like retrospective taxation and all those things. Of course, when the feedback comes, government has been good enough, wise enough, listening government is there, a democratic government is there, existing. They are listening and they are changing the course corrections and enabling the basically global investors to come in. And adopt innovative business models and partnerships. See, to bring the maximum value from any partnership or any industry, what we need is basically we need a right business model and then partnerships which we can bring in the value. And we all have to work towards carbon footprint at E&P sector. That is the thing. The key emerging underlying theme is the need for rapid adoption of new innovative technologies and embrace the organization-wide digitalization. Of course, I am not talking the digitalization in the downstream and marketing industries where the pipeline industry uses the digitalization, SCADA technology. Sitting in a control room, you are controlling the valves across the pipeline where exactly the pressure depletion is taking place along the pipeline, how we can maintain the balance. Leakage is detected sitting in the headquarters in Delhi across the HPJ pipeline. And you have a control room in GAIL which you can see every valve is mapped on the thing. That is the digital transformation and effective way of utilizing the skilled manpower and able to control the processes. Next, please. See, basically business levers for building resilience, what are these business levers? Cost reduction, maximize production and operational efficiency, asset optimization and safety environment. You need digital tools and technologies like IoT platforms, digital reporting, data analytics and visualization, and artificial intelligence, machine learning and cognitive computing. You all hearing that the chat GPT, which is going to be the biggest threat for the Gmail or the Google, which is going to happen. What platform it is working? It is the artificial intelligence. And with artificial intelligence and machine learning, probably to predict and to map the basically locales where the oil and gas accumulation is taking place, they may be better positioned to analyze the seismic lines and analyze the seismic signatures elsewhere in the global basins and bring in those features wherever is the, because humanly it is not possible to correlate all the worldwide basins. But when you use these artificial intelligence and machine language, what happens is some signatures which have been tested in, say, offshore Ecuador or offshore Guyana, they can be tested in basically in the KG basin or the Mahanadi basin, which we have been ignoring. So what we think the resources are not there. No. Resources are there, organic matter has flowed, and definitely the oil and gas kitchen is there, and oil and gas has generated and accumulated. Only thing is we are not able to find out. I keep on saying oil is not there until you discover it. Otherwise, all the global majors have said that India does not have any oil and gas. But we could discover, with the help of right geoscientists, right teams, a oil and gas division which has formed out of the GSI has formed and which has transformed into becoming the Oil and Natural Gas Commission and then transformed to Oil and Natural Gas Corporation today. Today, if two PSUs, which are Oil and Natural Gas Corporation and Oil India, these are the two organizations which has put India onto the hydrocarbon map of the world. It's wrong to say that they are not contributed. In fact, they have contributed maximum to the economy of the country. And today, our economy is stable because of the PSUs like this. And of course, the private sector has been complementing, and it is a process. It is a transformation which has taken place in the business transformation. It is not only energy transformation which we need. The business transformation also takes place. It's a combination of everybody contributes to the economy. Next, please. See, here are the areas in the upstream sector where the digital initiatives can bring in the benefits. Say, for example, in exploration, as I said, seismic data management and accurate seismic data interpretation. What exactly? Integrated GeoCloud. That means somebody sitting, an expert sitting in the Houston, can look into the data on a cloud platform and probably use some interpretation software and then bring in the best results. Because, of course, interpretation of the data is the basically knowledge-based and it is intellectual. And I always say the intelligence or the knowledge is not restricted to senior or junior. A young person may be having a very bright idea. Only thing is in the teamwork, in a matured way, the senior may be guiding the force. But otherwise, you should be, a technical team should always be open with irrespective of the junior, senior. It is a combined wisdom, combined knowledge which has to come in. And cognitive AI will play a major role in identifying the prospect. Similarly, in drilling, optimization of rig movement, failure prediction, and real-time monitor. What are the softwares which are helping? What are the technologies which are helping? For example, rig scheduler, what will happen? You can plan how the rig has to be deployed in a productive way. And IoT, artificial intelligence and automation increase also will help in the drilling, optimizing the drilling and integrated data management platform so that you can analyze, you can use whatever the pitfalls which you have observed in the earlier wells and can be done. And reservoir and production data, basically reservoir data management is very important one. Recovery maximization is one of the focus area now. We have been only recovering on an average 35% of the oil and gas which we have discovered. What about 65%? We cannot leave it in the ground. Probably, to other water injection, water flood management, reservoir pressure has to be balanced and we need to recover maximum. Through the data analytics, it is possible when you study all the fields. And the technology which is required is the cognitive AI, reservoir physics and machine language and integrated data management. And other aspects of it like supply chain transportation and the plant operations and maintenance, these are also where the technology can be imbibed and better productivity can brought in and into the system. For example, when you say the supply chain transportation, why it is important? A rig is waiting in the Krishna Godavari basin for the want of mud chemicals, which looks very trivial. Here is the role which comes in supply chain management, into inventory. A person sitting in the base can see what is the inventory which is there on the rig and can basically organize in such a way that the required material reaches to the rig. So basically the technology, how we are leveraging, how we are bringing it to a productive way to basically minimize the losses because of the losing the time and all other aspects. Similarly, plant OM, IoT and automation, ML and ERP. And in HSE also, safety is very important aspects. We need to go into the various aspects of the safety related matter and we should leverage the technology, and that is where is the digital transformation will play a significant role in the upstream oil and gas industry. Next, please. And technology enablement landscape, I think session chair is looking at me. Probably I'm running out of the time. Yeah, okay. And develop, what do you require to enhance efficiency, reduce costs and protect revenues and margins? See, ultimately everything zeroes down to the finance, All the processes which we do, how much maximization of profit which you are getting? What are the processes which you are effectively utilizing? How effectively you are using? These are the important aspects which in the net result it has to show what is the profit which you are getting, how the business is leveraging into a profit-oriented organization. Of course, the businesses run on each and every person's money. We think Reliance it is not Mukesh Ambani's money alone. It is the money belongs to you and me, everybody, taxpayers, direct or indirect investment. Somebody might be having a direct shares, or the financial institutions are investing, banks are investing. So basically, ultimately, it has to revenue. Every business model has to generate a revenue. What you need for this, for that enhancing efficiency and reducing costs, you need to develop futuristic strategies for which you need to embrace digital technologies across operations, Internet of Things, big data, artificial intelligence, machine language, and various other technologies which keep on developing that we need to utilize. And construction program optimization, digital capex management, we need a construction program optimization through use of drones and AR systems, and value chain integration. And the Center of Excellences need to be established to focus on the Center of Excellences should work to give solutions to the industry. They in a focused manner, in a focused manner, and for appropriate technology which can be adopted. And similarly, cyber security is also important when you are looking into the digital transformation aspect. We need to build a resilient cyber strategy and infrastructure. And it will become a digital backbone, creation of digital backbone with an assemblage of processes, workflows, and method and skill sets. These are required. Next, please. See, advantages of adopting digital technologies, I just listed few major areas. Say, for example, in exploration, 50 to 60% of reduction in time can take place in the data interpretation time and cost. The time saved is the money, indirectly. Time saved is the money, and it will be utilized. And in the field development, up to 70% reduction in engineering hours. If a field development, in a right way, with a supply chain mechanism, everything is a field. A project which had to be executed in a year, if you execute in 6 months, there itself you are creating a value for the project and value for the company for which it is being done. Similar is the drilling, 20 to 30% faster well delivery and more productive well. How it will help? What sort of rigs you are using, what sort of drill bits you are using, what sort of drill string which you are using to have an efficient mechanism of drilling the wells. That will come in when you really digitally analyze the thing through data analysis or the business analytics when you do. And similar is the operation and production, where 4 to 5% increased production and 20 to 40% reduction in maintenance costs in the pipelines, and then through probably digitally when you are monitoring how the pipeline's integrity, whether something is corroded, whether some valve is leaking. These are very important aspects of it. When you go for the reservoir management, how well you are injecting the water into the system. That makes the difference. Otherwise, most of the injected water, because of the corroded pipes, are getting into the sea, and the real quantum of the water is not getting injected into the formation. So integrity of the basically installations is very important, and regular auditing and corrective steps for these surface facilities is also very important in recovery methods of recovering the more percentage of oil and gas from the formation. Next, please. The government has been taking several steps with regarding to data initiatives and by the government. Let's say, for example, there were 2 flagship programs which were launched. One is the Hydrocarbon Resource Assessment Study, and other one is National Seismic Program and Andaman Study. And National Seismic, why it has been carried out is there were several areas where the seismic survey was not carried out. Those gaps were filled through a program funded by the Government of India with a 3,000 crore budget. We have done the thing. In the fag end, when I was there in DGH, it was funds were granted for seismic survey, but I proposed that it should not restrict it to only seismic, because the northeast region, because of the difficult terrain, I suggested to them same funds can be utilized for airborne gravity gradiometry, even though it is not a substitute for seismic. But in difficult terrain, we need to have certain subsurface geoscientific data. Certain amount of money has been diverted to airborne gravity gradiometry, and the survey is being taken place there through wherever inaccessible areas were there. What do you do from the hydrocarbon resource assessment study through seismic data? How much is the volumes which are there in the subsurface? That has been done through hydrocarbon resource assessment. This is the one which attracts the global investors to come and invest in India, basically to produce oil and gas. And this has been stored on the National Data Repository. And of late, it has been made open for the both academic institutions, young workforce, students. It has been made free. Data will be given if somebody wants to really look into the data and use their intellectual ability to get, out-of-box thinking to be really to find the locales or to find the understanding the petroleum system. And some forward-looking changes they are also looking, basically cloud-based NDR, we are trying to make it so that globally the data can be accessible. And next, please. So basically, so the billions of dollars worth data is there on NDR. Both academic institutions and industry should utilize these data which has been placed at single place to benefit of their organizations or to build their knowledge and to bring the benefits to the basically society. And the cloud-based solution and expansion of storage is one aspect, and deriving key insights through data analytics. And we are also proposing the continuous evergreening of the data so that, it's not the raw data will be available. How do you analyze? How do you interpret that raw data is also very important aspect of it. Next, please. See, we have then Government of India also put one Disaster Recovery and Business Continuity Center of India at Bhubaneswar, because we need to have the replica of the data center. If you keep one data center at one place, if something like that, what has happened in Turkey, if something happens, then whole data you will lose. That is the reason, In fact, ideally speaking, you need to have the data center at 3 places. When you have billions of dollars worth data which is there, and this data is almost 168 years old, oil and gas story of India, the legacy data is also stored on this NDR. And this secondary data center was established at Bhubaneswar. Next, please. These are all part of the digital transformation. Why I am bringing in is, I am giving a picture of how the digital transformation is helping. And DGH, we have also helped online systems like ECMS application, because essentiality certificate is required for the services or the material which is used for petroleum operations are custom exempt. And the certificate to issue, instead of manually interacting with the thing, through online portal, we are facilitating the issuing of the essentiality certificate to the industry. And the PSC management system is one where the investors who have come in, they are into the contract, and then a smooth flow of the operations has to be there. And then PML application system has also been digitized and online. And vessel clearance management system, when any seismic vessel or the drilling vessel comes to the Indian waters, it needs both security clearance as well as the customs clearance facility. This has been automated through a digital portal and the transformation clear. And expat clearance system, when a foreign person comes and works in a strategic area, we need to have the clearance from IB and Home Ministry and other places. That way. And then the most important aspect of it, environmental clearance. When you are going to carry out operations in any area, environmental clearance has been, we made it online system through Parivesh portal. Ministry of Environment also has created a Parivesh portal where you can directly fill the data and then get the thing. And then they have also interministerial coordination committee. One has been developed. By any chance online mechanism something gets stuck because of want of certain documents or the data, and it has been trashed out in the meeting, and then a solution is brought. Next, please. So in nutshell, what I would like to say is, in a short, in a summation form about digital transformation in whether it is upstream industry, whether it is a midstream industry, downstream industry, will transform the industry and maximize the benefits for the society. We need to adopt these digital technologies to maximize the benefits, maximize the profit from the operations which we are carrying out. And with that, I will just end my talk. Thank you very much.